Lin Luo didn't know whether to be happy or disappointed for a moment. The image in front of him is far different in terms of temptation than Ji Wanyi's vixen-like temptress just now. He asked, You're the succubus queen? Why is this image different from before? The newly appeared little Lolita substitute had an innocent look in her eyes, as if she could see through Lin Luo's mind. Answered, Master, you seem a little disappointed. Then in his shocked eyes, Lin Luo's face grew instantly as her young body quickly became taller, and the little Lolita evolved into the succubus queen, becoming mature and charming, and her temperament changed from innocent and quirky to noble and seductive, as if she was a queen who fell into the world of mortals. She softly touches Lin Luo's cheek. Does the master prefer the slave's form? Lin Luo's expression was slightly stunned, and he answered as he felt his heartbeat speeding up. No, you should maintain your previous form. After all, it would be really difficult for an ordinary man to control a vixen-like temptress who follows him around every day. Noticing her master's embarrassment, the succubus queen transformed back to her previous self. She looked at Lin Luo with watery peach blossom eyes, placed a jade finger gently on her red lips, and said with charming eyes, Master, you seem to like the slave form better, and you were so cute when you were shy. She giggles while smiling brightly as Lin Luo turned to the attribute panel. An S-level talent succubus queen with strength of 60, 10 for normal people, agility and intelligence 60, defense 30, growth 80 with 50 meters of action distance. Energy and HP of 2000 with energy recovery rate of 1 point every 10 minutes. She also has a dual form, Loli, and the Queen's Queen with no energy consumption required and increases the charm of the opposite sex by 5 times and consumes 1 point of energy per hour respectively. A pink fantasy which instantly pull a living being's consciousness into a blissful illusion, with pain as its kryptonite. Its energy consumption rate depending on the strength of the opponent in a cooling time of a day. Lin Luo silently thought that, sure enough, this substitute is not a combat type, but its energy attribute is at full value, and its skills have a cooldown time, which shows that it has strong control ability. As long as the opponent is controlled, it is a matter of one blow. With both arms raised, Lin Luo was delighted with his day. He then turned to Master of Wishes saying, I remember that there was another person in the same organization as Ji Wanyi named Lou Jinning. Where is he? Master of Wishes smirks when he heard this. The scene then shifts to Lou Jinning, Lin Luo's next plunder ticket, a blonde guy with a black eye, carrying a bag full of medicines as he looks to be in pain. It hurts me to death. What SS-level bullshit talent? You actually have to be injured and in danger before you can activate. Lou Jinning complains as he approaches his rental apartment. He opened the door, turned on the light, and suddenly before his eyes was his ex-girlfriend, Sun Xiaohong, lying on the bed. Looking visibly nervous, Lou Jinning asked, Xiaohong, why are you here? Brother Jinning, can you forgive me? Xiaohong seductively replied, shocking Lou Jinning. Completely enraged, he shouted that he wouldn't fall for her tricks after she dumped him. After awakening his SS-level talent, he wouldn't take her back. Suddenly, his rant was cut off as Xiaohong got up and kissed him on his cheek. She then pulled him on the bed, sat on top of him, and seductively asked that as long as he is okay, how will he want to punish her? Suddenly energetic, Lou Jinning was completely doing the exact opposite of what he said he wouldn't, thinking with his lower head. Turns out, Lou Jinning was under the pink fantasy. Lin Luo was amazed as to what he was staring at. He complimented Loli of how impressive the illusion was. Lin Luo then told Lady Kaguya to end it. Without hesitation, Lady Kaguya raised her sword and attacked Lou Jinning. However, her sword was caught midway by a stream of blue light controlling the unconscious Lou Jinning. Holding the sword in a tight grip, Lou Jinning's unconscious body began to break it. Lin Luo was shocked, worriedly asking Lady Kaguya what's going on. A blue arm appeared from a void in the blue light and grabbed Lady Kaguya's sword in an instant. Cold ice crystals began to freeze Lady Kaguya's sword, and just as they were about to spread to the hilt, she was forcefully pushed back. The materialized Lou Jinning's substitute was wearing smooth blue armor, with a smooth mask on his face that only exposed his eyes. His hands were empty, but circles of ice crystal wheels were condensing and forming crazily in the air around him. He arrogantly declared that he was Frost Destroyer. Anyone who dares to challenge his majesty will be punished. Lin Luo immediately roared out for Dark Emperor to help Lady Kaguya as he summons his green goblin to support. Both substitute charged at Mr. Frost, who casually wave his hand at them. Suddenly, a massive wall of ice encapsulates them in Lin Luo's tentacles. Smashing the ice wall with a barrage of punches, Dark Emperor proceeds to attack Mr. Frost. Mr. Frost crossed his arms and summons countless ice chains which instantly wrap tightly around the incoming Dark Emperor arms and legs, locking him. The ice chains also moved towards Lin Luo at lightning speed. However, Lady Kaguya immediately got in front of Lin Luo and coolly smashed the ice chains with her sword, deflecting it. Lin Luo was visibly delighted, praising Lady Kaguya for her incredible reflexes. He then calls back Dark Emperor and the Green Goblin. With a prideful expression, Mr. Frost crossed his arms and arrogantly challenged Lin Luo. "What? Don't you have the courage to attack me?" Lin Luo was slightly stunned. He didn't expect the substitute to speak, which was quite interesting. The corners of his mouth curved up, and an excited smile flashed across his face. "Are you kidding me? I have 100 ways to defeat you. I'm just wondering which method would be more satisfying to defeat you. Your level is at least SS level or above, while my substitute is only S level. It would not be fair to challenge you in a one-on-one battle." There was a trace of imperceptible annoyance in Mr. Frost's face as Lin Luo proceeds to tell him of his plan to antagonizing him to make a mistake. Lin Luo stretched out his hand and clenched his fist in the air. He loudly shouts, "Dark Emperor, Lady Kaguya, perfect fusion. Activate the S-level talent." Suddenly, Dark Emperor and Lady Kaguya's energy merged. Dark Emperor, who was wearing metal armor, instantly turned into a huge dark purple ball of light, and then flashed directly, wrapping up Lady Kaguya, who was wearing a short maiden skirt. The black-purple light dissipates and a beautiful girl wearing jet black metal armor appeared along with a new attributes panel displaying an S++ level, Lady Kaguya's Dark Emperor form. Her strength 300, 10 for normal people, agility 350 with intelligence of 40, defense 70 with HP of 4000, growth unknown with 30 meters of action distance, energy 230 with energy recovery rate of 1 point every half hour. A plundering blade when active. Every time it attacks an enemy and causes damage, it will randomly take away 3/10 of the opponent's attributes or abilities. Energy consumption of 7 with no cooldown. She also has a passive state with attack carrying 250 points of true damage and consumes 2 points of energy every second. 6,000 points of armor that can withstand any damage, and finally, when her Dark Emperor's armor is shattered, all negative conditions on the body will be removed, and agility will be increased by 60 points. Normal and critical hit rate are increased by 20%, and the experience gained from killing monsters is doubled. Standing behind Dark Kaguya, Lin Luo was amazed with her stats. In a heartbeat, Dark Kaguya launched at Mr. Frost, striking her sword with precision and unyielding strength. However, Mr. Frost blocks the attack with his arm, violently grinding his teeth. He then summons his Frozen Nova. Multiple ice shards were flung towards Dark Kaguya, to which she counters effortlessly with her sword, Blade of Fury. Mr. Frost stared while clenching his teeth, wondering where the sudden burst of speed from Dark Kaguya came from, and her form is really terrifying to block his Frozen Nova like they were nothing. With a loud roar, ice crystal wheels were again condensing and forming crazily in the air, freezing everything around him. He no longer cared about saving energy. Opening his hands, a raging cold wave broke out, summoning his eternal ice coffin. A massive ice coffin appeared the next moment, intending to completely freeze Dark Kaguya inside. However, sensing the cold wave surging in the air, Dark Kaguya instantly changed shape and left the place, escaping the coffin's crushing capture. Still in the air, she then launched at Mr. Frost at full speed, shocking him. Scared shitless, Mr. Frost loudly told Dark Kaguya not to come close. Panicked, he summons his freezing frost rain, but unfortunately for him, after enduring so much freezing, frost, and rain, Dark Kaguya noticed Mr. Frost ice summons were reduced to a few small snowflakes. She quickly launched at him, intending to end him with this final strike. In his last effort, Mr. Frost laughed maniacally, aiming all the ice he can muster at Dark Kaguya. "I have 0 ice armor to protect my body, and I can also use cold air to reduce your attack speed." Dark Kagaya said as her blade of fury fell on the opponent's shoulder without hesitation, forcefully activating Black Emperor Armor Shatter, Unbinding, where all negative status on the body will be removed, and the agility will be increased by 60 points. Reverted to their individual selves, Lady Kagaya's eyes were still bright and firm despite the surging cold air as she landed coolly behind Mr. Frost. Mr. Frost couldn't hold on any longer and finally wailed. His body instantly turned into a pile of broken ice and fell to the ground helplessly. Lady Kagaya attacked the unconscious Lou Jinning immersed in his erotic dream, swiftly ending him. Master, fortunately we lived up to her command. Lady Kagaya and Dark Emperor recovered after being released from the fusion state and hurriedly expressed their stance. Lin Luo laughed and gave them a look of approval, suggesting he would take it from here on. Standing beside Lin Jinning's corpse, Lin Luo activated his S-level talent Plunder, choosing talent effect from the 4 target attribute values, talent effects, skill effects, and soul power to plunder. As his body absorbs the surge of power, Lin Luo immediately felt that he had a new powerful talent. The level of this talent definitely exceeds S-level. Congratulations on acquiring SS-level talent Personal Mask, with one's own personality. The most intense pursuit in life, such as spirit and will, condenses into Personal Mask to summon one's own patron saint. However, patron saint will only appear when the host is in danger. The more deadly the danger the host encounters, the more powerful the summoned guardian saint can be. Upon learning this, Lin Luo held his head in both hands and shook his head, screaming loudly that why were the 2 SS-level talents he grabbed so weird and couldn't be used directly. Lin Luo sighed softly. He tried to summon his patron saint directly, but found that there was no response. Standing in front of his substitute like the loser he was, he tried once more, but again, nothing. Lin Luo collapsed and started beating the ground with his hands, whining, "I finally managed to grab 2 SS-level substitutes, but they couldn't be used directly." Master of Wishes, noticing Lin Luo's mental breakdown, suggested that maybe it's some kind of restriction on SS-class talents. Then suddenly, a light bulb went off in his head. He thought for a moment and said to Lady Kagaya, "Come here. Try to chop me in the neck." Lady Kagaya was stunned for a moment, obviously not understanding why her master had suddenly gone so crazy, and said with a confused face, "Master, what's the matter with you to want me to do this? This is how my new talent is stimulated. Only when I encounter fatal danger can I summon this new substitute. So let's try it and see if it shows up if I'm attacked." Finally understanding, Lady Kagaya raised her sword and swung it at Lin Luo's neck, releasing a frightening aura with a killing intent, and slowly slashed at his neck, finally stopping 1 centimeter in front of his neck. However, there was no response. Lin Luo stared awkwardly at Lady Kagaya, wondering why nothing happened. "Master, maybe it's because your substitute didn't feel that you would be in danger, so he didn't show up." Master of Wishes pointed out and continued that after all, Lady Kagaya has no intention of killing you. With resolved determination, Lin Luo stood up, got 1 leg on a small table in front of him, and said, "Dark Emperor, come here and hit me with all your strength. Don't be afraid. It's okay to beat him up when he appears. You must have the idea of crippling me, right? Don't cheat." Without missing a beat, Dark Emperor immediately moved his body and got in front of Lin Luo, raised his aimed fist, intending to punch the living daylight out of Lin Luo. Lin Luo watched helplessly as his fist approached, suppressing the instinctive reaction of dodging. However, at the moment of danger, time stopped. The several substitutes around him, the surging white mist, and Dark Emperor who was about to punch him, all seemed to be fixed. Lin Luo found that he could not move either, and only his consciousness could still move. At the same time, a powerful force emerged from the depths of him. A majestic voice suddenly sounded in his head. "I am you, and you are me. I can already feel it in your heart. For the path you insist on, for the justice you believe in, and the courage to face 1,000 people with cold eyebrows. Even if it leads to hell in the end. Even if there are infinite challenges and difficulties, they are waiting for us in the future. We must also use our invincible will and strength to witness everything with our own eyes. Let's roar out together." Personal Mask quickly transformed into a cold white mask and appeared before Lin Luo. Circles of blue flames ignited around him. With a loud roar, Lin Luo shouts, "I summon you. Come out, Savior." Suddenly, a substitute wearing a red dress with a slender figure with wide black wings on his back and a dark horn mask on his face appeared in front of Lin Luo. A monstrous mist condensed in and around the substitute, as if even if the world is destroyed, he can turn the tide single-handedly and rebuild a new world. At this moment, the time in the real world resumed its flow. Dark Emperor was instantly attacked by a massive force of light. Dark Emperor and Savior were at a face-off. Master, as long as you give the order, I can send him to hell. Really? Let's try and see who will go to hell first. Lin Luo hurriedly got in between them and ordered them to stop, since when can both of you act without my permission?